It's Tato Buncha and Nawalanga, the madness never ends. It's 1 a.m. Clap, pow, 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 pow. Say no to this.
Happy New Year!
Hello.
Happy New Year!
Hi guys.
It's the second week of February.
I'm sorry, my year starts in February. I think was telling me that there's a post that said January is a what? A trial.
Oh yeah, there are people who were saying that January, it's okay if you don't have your stuff together yet. January genuinely is just a trial run of the year.
Yes, but we already know that time is a scam. The scam that the world is built upon says that January is the first month of the year.
For the past 7 years, my January has started in February. My year begins in February.
So you have an 11
January
month
is a ha!
Yo,
A higa haga.
January is nonsense. It's flaming hot in yours, actually.
So I come back, Yizo Yizo the return, Baba!
Today we are talking about time and how it is a scam.
It really is.
People can get really deep. Oh my gosh, time really is real because people grow and the day does end. So we know
We
that
understand nature-wise, days happen.
days happen,
Years happen as well because of like
you grow,
the sun thing.
and you as a person, you don't stay
Do we need
2 months.
an hour, a week, a monthly? You know,
Do you know, my
the
crisis
second.
is years.
I
Actually,
enjoy days and I enjoy hours. A
I
minute.
don't like hours. No, why?
Really?
Why?
Why?
I like
Just
hours.
wake up. The day is here.
Yeah.
Oh, the moon's up. Let me go sleep.
Yeah, so you'll
Hours.
never be late.
Minutes and seconds.
That one. Always running late.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's
Always.
why I'm not
You.
excited about a watch. No, man. Let the day just be.
No,
Yo,
well,
you
I'll
are
meet you around. You know when the
Yeah.
time the sun is up there, but you know it's to the left.
Not even. You just call. Hey, what are you doing soon?
Never.
The spirit moves you.
When are you prepared to meet someone 2 hours after they tell you to meet them?
Hey, and it's such a problem. I'm scared. How do your
Why are
friends
you
live?
scared? Scared of what?
That
know.
I'm scared that I'm going to
Oh,
develop
I'm
the
not-
same
I'm
toxic
not gonna
trait.
be like that.
Okay,
It's
yes,
stressing
laitism
me.
is a toxic trait, and I am working on it. But I'm not talking about social settings, but it's when people are like, this is due by 11:59. Why? Why?
Why can't it just be due when the sun is down?
Yes.
Yeah.
Why can't it just be, by Friday? It doesn't matter what time. Please, now you must 11:59. Come on, man. It's always
Come
work.
on, somebody.
It always work. Hours bore me for work, and I actually have improved. I'm not as late as I used to be.
That's
all
wonderful.
the time.
We
So
love that for
I'm
you.
getting better.
Love it. Love
Yeah.
it.
Can't help but stand a queen.
Thank you. Thanks.
So to me, what are scams are months,
Yes.
a week, because what is a week?
Yes.
Days are
actually.
fine, hours are fine, minutes and seconds. Zhuang.
For
And
the
why?
athletes.
For what?
The athletes,
athletes.
yeah.
I
For the
mean,
athletes.
For the
yeah,
athletes.
but how much of the population is an athlete?
Yeah, if they could have time for
Just
managers,
them.
bosses,
You know-
companies,
We all have different types of
athletes,
time.
yes, then the
That
rest
must
of
be
us.
discrimination. I'm telling you, somehow that
General
would turn
time.
into
But
discrimination.
you know how scientists use Kelvin? That is its own temperature thing.
Oh, true.
The world operates on Fahrenheit and Celsius. Thereby the scientists. Kelvin.
Exactly, and singena pichina. So in the time of its due, I can be like, I don't work on that system. Mine is different, and it dictates that when my spirit moves in, I will present it, and you can relay the information, and everybody will understand.
Yes,
in
and
an
then-
ideal
World. We work on different systems that work with each other.
Exactly, symbiosis. Is that the word? You
Yeah,
not
I
me
don't
saying
know.
it with so much
I
confidence.
don't know. Coexisting.
Yes,
You know?
that
I'm
one.
currently looking at them like they're a bit mad, isn't it? What were you saying about me being a baker?
Yo,
Oh,
Buntle.
that's why time matters to you so much because you will burn.
Yo, and for real, I made palmiers and some of them,
Hey, no, I like it. Give me something that's a little bit burnt.
Yo, but you know sugar.
Sugar tastes nice.
Sugar.
Burnt sugar.
No.
No, did you not taste the
When
like
you cook-
darker ones?
Oh, I made palmiers, which are a type of cookie. Check out my Instagram, Kalfalichi, if you want to see what I'm talking about.
Speaking of time being a scam, the Norwegian island of forgive my pronunciation, Somaroy. Soma, it's Roy.
Yeah, well,
I'm so sorry.
Somar, it's Roy.
Soma, it's Roy. This island in Norway. They get so much sunlight that it doesn't make sense to have
Time.
Yeah.
They get unending sunlight from May 18th to July 26th. Dude, imagine. Yo,
Dude,
like
The whole time the sun is out.
that would be so great, because when is it due? When is 11:59? Because 11:59 is supposed to be darkness. You are
Professor
looking
Mang, please.
outside. It's 11:59. I'm so triggered by deadlines, as you can tell in my
You're
spirit.
tired of 11:59.
Anyway, I support that idea, because really, at least you can take breaks in your day. Also, that would be so wild. Like,
I think it's only wild as a person going to that
yeah.
island. If you're born there, you're like, this is just my
And
normal
probably
life.
time, normal sunrise and sundown hours in other places of the world must shake you.
Exactly.
Honestly,
your
if you
core.
travel,
It's
yeah.
like, Batonga, I have to go back now. It's dark.
Yeah, oh my gosh, there's no one saying come back when the street lights switch on. What street lights? What street lights?
to come on.
Dude, their government must save so much money during these times when there's unending sunlight, because street lights I could need.
Yo, tell me you're from South Africa without telling me South Africa where the
South
worry
Africa
is about the lights.
electricity.
They don't have money for the street lights.
They don't have load shedding. Oh my word. Even if this Somare got hit with load shedding, it would not. Oh no, it would matter.
It would matter, but like at least they can see.
See, yeah.
Yeah,
They're
It's
not
like
good
load
at that.
shedding during the day.
Yeah.
It doesn't hit
Yeah.
as much as
Load shedding.
8 to 9.
Yeah.
Oh,
Or
when
8
like
to 10.
darkness.
Yo, dude. Safari.
You'll be sitting enjoying life, then too. You just feel like something has left
You've
your
been
soul.
robbed.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like the electricity was part of you, and then
If anyone doesn't know, load shedding in South Africa is when the electricity goes away. Because
it's
apparently.
a power outage on schedule.
Exactly.
Yes, on
South
purpose.
Africa takes 10s to use electricity.
Exactly.
Guys,
And the sad
we really
part
do.
is, yes, the sad part, and yes, only in certain areas at a time. And the sad part is when you listen to people who are visiting who explain it, you're like, so this really isn't normal. This doesn't just happen,
You know?
Like, oh, okay.
We're like, yeah, borrow.
Charge your devices. Cook.
The other people need electricity too.
Yeah. Yo.
What a shame. What a shame.
The issue is, if we stop using time, eventually the human race is gonna come up with another way to measure stuff, because we love to measure.
Like that
Honestly,
time.
I'm just saying, can it be demolished for me as a person?
Oh, wow.
Just for
Me
you.
and a few other people who agree with me and think like me and do not need to be
So then you have a
on
no
a
time
plane.
card.
Yes, and I want to dip back in when I feel the need.
A bit unrelated, but I was thinking in summary, the people who make blackout curtains must get a lot of money, because I think
Yeah.
there's a whole
Yeah.
lot of people who do want to sleep like...
Yeah.
Unless you are born there and you're used to sleeping with light.
But I
maybe
think it's
it
human
plays a-
nature.
yeah,
Like, you
maybe.
close your eyes. That's a bit
Oh,
of darkness
true,
to
Yeah,
sleep.
You don't sleep.
True.
Oh, that is actually
Because
so
light
true.
stimulates your
Your
brain.
It doesn't matter
Oh,
where
look
you
at
grew up.
that, Tato's tidbit.
Tata's smart.
Oh
She a
my
little
God.
Big brain.
She really do be the
Big brain.
scientist.
Oh my! I like being in darkness. Oh wait, that completely goes against my load shedding thing. I like it darkness when there's electricity. That's
You
what
like
I
to
like.
control the darkness.
Yes.
You like consensual darkness.
Yes.
So, aside from time, calendars and the
Oh,
whole
yeah.
idea of a year feels a bit scammy too. Even age is also, because it creates a bit of pressure and ageism. There's so many things, from attaching stuff that
Trying
you
to measure.
yeah, and measuring people's lives and accomplishments in a capitalist system according to age. And so that also bothers me. Like, when I was younger, I thought by this age I'd be 1, 2, 3, and then you can get like really, really sad because life happens. So I wish the idea of this particular year means this, or you should have this, can also die with this idea of time.
That's such a...
And it's also sad because people are like, oh, I'm too old for this. Hectic.
But back on calendars, can we talk about how before everybody was like, oh, let's go to this country, let's go to this country. Everybody was measuring time by themselves, ne? And then this King George,
Hey, George.
you know, he was like, I want to take over the world. So in his taking over the world, that's how everybody got the Gregorian calendar. The calendar that we use now is because King George was like, I'm gonna change everything about you. You're gonna work the way I work.
That's so
Because there were different kinds of the
Exactly.
Ethiopian calendar, the
Which
Chinese
is 7
calendar.
hours, 7 years late.
You
The
see?
Ethiopian thing is 7
Wait,
years
what?
back. They are in
I'm sorry.
2015, 2016.
I love
Are you
Their
that.
serious?
calendar, yes.
Yes.
No, for real.
Yes, the Ethiopian calendar is in 2016.
So
Viva
technically,
Ethiopia,
I've
viva.
got a lot of time. You see, if you're working with that, by this age, I think, which also leads to ageism, guys. Like the close, and I know this sounds wild because I'm experiencing it. Like I'm actually pretty young, and I used to think that this is an old age, but like I'm actually pretty. Life is long. I mean, until I die.
Yeah.
But yeah,
It's such
Pretty long and short.
yes, it's such a weird one.
Mm.
Yeah.
I think younger siblings or maybe younger siblings can see this specifically. But I'll never forget when Tato was 13 and she was in grade 7 and she had the grade 7 dance. I thought she was mature. She was on her grown woman-ish. Because at the time I'm in grade 4. At 13, right? And when I got to 13, I was like, I'm the furthest thing from grown. I don't know why all the grade 7s in school were like walking around with a crown on their heads. Because this is like, we're a chill age. We're not old. So same thing. Growing up, having older siblings, I always look at you guys as, oh my word, you're so much older than me. Like Tato's 19 now. I'm just like, oh my gosh, that's in my head.
that's a bit
Okay, it's a bit
traumatic.
better now. It was worse when I was younger.
Yeah,
that
yeah,
like because you guys were older than me, I was just like, oh yeah, when I get to that age, I'm gonna be like Tato, and I'm like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I get it from a kid's perspective because older people look and do like
Yeah.
they can drive cars, they're taller, like it looks
There's a lot
older.
happening.
Yes, it just gets shaky when you're a teen and you're like, I don't know, planning out your life or whatever, or you
Yeah.
have ideas.
Can we talk about why society pressurizes teens into doing, like, planning out your life? Why am I a teenager and planning out the rest of my life? I've only been alive for less than 2 decades.
someone said that
That's so true.
I have more decades to
The
go.
worst part is when they're like, yeah, the decisions you make today will affect the rest of your life. And obviously that shakes your life.
Yeah.
And you're like, yes, you need to know now. And then you get here and you're like, I could have changed my mind. And people do change their mind
Yeah.
like the year after making decisions they thought they were right. And then like after leaving school, you're like, actually, I'd like to, go this direction. Some people do nothing that they did or thought they'd do in high
Yeah.
school. Even after high school, they just change, which also shows that, guys, you can...
Switch lanes.
There we go.
Anyway, talking about the stress and pressure that time being measured brings to people. New Year's. Every New Year's, people are like, New Year,
Cancel
new
that
me.
thing.
you never genuinely look so annoyed
I'm
right
so
now.
tired,
Gymming,
guys. Like,
eating healthy, more organized.
reflect on your year. What did you do? Nothing.
And
my
also,
boy.
Daddy, it's so funny. Our parents, who are also against these things, so it's kind of annoying. Were like, remember, Daddy or something
yes,
said to
like-
the group chat, like, what are your plans for the year? And I was like, dude, I gave vague plans, which I genuinely do have vague plans, like my reading goal, how much money I want to have, how many dance routines I want to learn this year, and yeah, that was kind of it. I think,
Yeah.
honestly,
That's not vague.
I think those
It
are
is
very
kind of-
vague. I think they're
But
vague.
do you understand what vague means?
Oh.
You even had a number for how much money you wanted.
Wait, never mind. That's not vague. That's not vague.
Very specific. Vague is...
I want to be a better person.
Yes.
Yes.
I want my hair to. Oh, but I did. Okay, my only vague goal was, I kind of want to have more volume in my hair. I didn't like set a centimeter thing.
I did not answer that question. I looked at it. Daddy asked me to participate on the group and privately and in real life. I was like, no,
Yeah.
don't ask me.
Even
to
though
do that
goals
one.
are very important in life.
Yes.
I'm currently reading a book. I know I swerved really fast there, nah, but I'm
You
currently
did,
reading
gave me
a
whiplash.
book. I'm reading a book called You and Me on Vacation. And one of the characters was saying that it's a character in a book. So I don't know if the author actually researched this before she wrote it down. But she was saying that it's a very tough experience when you reach a long-term goal and then you just have it. Like sometimes it causes depression in people once you've reached a long goal that you're working for, then you reach it and you're just like, well, damn.
What
so
next?
That's
Yeah.
kind of boring. But goals can genuinely be the thing that wake you up in the morning and like give you motivation.
Yeah,
to
they
do
keep
stuff.
you moving forward.
They
Yeah.
keep you moving.
Because of this 5 a.m. Millionaires Club, get up, this is what billionaires do.
Let's talk about-
Go. It can sort of, to add on to what you were saying, you always are looking at the next thing and then you can't pause and be like, wow, I achieved my long-term goal. Let me just enjoy and simmer in this. I can relax and just be. Yes, Tato.
I was saying, the YouTube videos, this is what millionaires do, this is what billionaires do. When you look at it, it's not what they're doing.
They don't.
It's the working man waking up at 5 a.m. trying to do this and this and this. People who are up there, their money is generating passively.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Billionaires don't do that. Maybe they may
in
have
the beginning.
Exactly.
What is Jeff Bezos doing? You know, in his daily life as a trillionaire.
I really don't care.
Exactly. You don't care, but he's probably doing nothing. He's trying to go to space is the issue.
Exactly. Like, imagine all you have to do is clock in for 2 hours a day. But
Does he even do 2 hours?
Sometimes I'm sure there's two different kinds of rich
yeah.
people. Like the ones who are always like
Grinding.
working and maintaining, and then the ones who are like, my money really is long, so I can drink a Long Island and relax for long.
True.
Yeah.
I think that's the goal. Make your money passively.
One of my good friends and I were talking about how it's a very nice feeling to know that you are one of the few who are awake.
Where the sun is
Specifically
down.
in your house, specifically also in your area, like on our street, you can tell that there's very few people up. And then when you see a car drive past at like 4 a.m., you're just like, hey, yo, I see you. Okay.
This is very creepy, but
What?
yes.
I understand the nice feeling.
Yeah,
it's
where it's
pretty
just,
cool.
especially when you grow up in a house like, of people of 5. It's so funny. I was reading this book again, the same book that I'm reading, You and Me on Vacation. This girl was talking about how she's very uncomfortable with silence because she grew up with like 4 dogs in the house and like multiple other pets, and she had like 5 other siblings and her parents. So the house was always noisy. So she grew up hating silence. Yeah, like how an only child wouldn't like noise because maybe the whole house is always usually quiet and they're used to being like in a quiet area. They may not like noise.
Somebody was like, if we live together, I'll scream once in a while so you remember home. And I'm like, what do you mean? And then like, because Buntle just randomly screams all the time. And I was like, oh my word. So like every time I'm on the phone, like you're doing something, she's like, you know what, if we ever moved in together, to make you, if you ever miss home, I'll scream once in a while.
I went
Damn.
just to mimic the Puntle vibes.
Yes.
You know?
Whoa.
Occasionally.
But it's also the fact that your friend picked it up.
Yeah.
Like,
How loud
we're
do I
living our
scream?
lives.
You do.
I think I also do it. As soon as I open the door, I'm
everybody.
like,
Yeah, we do make
random bursts of noise.
It's an expression of joy. And that's how I
Alright,
keep
man.
It's just a thing that
Yeah,
happens.
because even if it's not joyous, like
Oh,
if
yeah,
the cat
yo.
is walking past you, just living its life, this is you. Ha! Why are you alive?
Not why you're alive, I just get a shock.
So going back to what Buntle said about long-term goals and having this dissatisfaction after you achieve a long-term goal, I was on TikTok and there was this lady. She realized she actually had a little bit of a breakdown where she's like, she has no passion, she has no like goal, or there's nothing that's driving her. There's nothing she's trying to achieve. She has pockets of joy and things she enjoys, but nothing that's, oh my gosh, I have to achieve this. And she works and she does well at her job, but she's just existing.
Life is going through her.
No, she's being present and existing and enjoying life. It's not one of those like, I have no goals, I am dead, I'm just existing. She's existing, if you get the difference.
Yeah.
Yes. In the moment, she's present, but she's like, I just don't have a passion. And she was like, actually, people think that's a bad thing, but I'm really happy. And I was like, yeah, sometimes to just be, like, you have enough money to do the things that you like. You don't have a crazy hobby that you want to turn into a business. You're not jumping for joy to get up to your job.
But you're not super depressed to go to your job either.
Yes, and it was a very interesting take that there's nothing that she's working towards. She's just
Here.
here Okay, but there's also two spectrums, because there is the here where you're just like life is happening to you, and you're just going through the motions, which is actually a lot of people. But she's made peace with that, and she's actually, I'm really happy. I don't feel the need to have a passion. As long as I really can do the things that I enjoy, then I'm good.
Which makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I was like, this is so cool. Just to exist and be present and enjoy, and you're still working and you still have things that you enjoy, but it's about drive, it's about passion.
That's such an interesting take. I genuinely thought that story was going somewhere completely else. But I feel like whenever I hear a good point like this, I'm always like, there's a flip to the coin, another side of the coin
always.
That I'm not thinking of right now. Like, but it's nice to have a passion. I think she may not have spoken about like the process of getting to the point where she was at peace with not having a passion, because that process must be very long and arduous. Is that the word?
And it's also weird,
especially in the society we live in,
that became the standard.
But
because when you think about it, there's 9 billion people on the planet.
Dude, I thought it was 7.
Let's go 7 to 9 billion people on the planet. How can you have a standard for that many people? Human beings are so different. The fact that we're human is similar. But even then, it's different.
We share the planet, but honestly,
it's different planets. No, I'm not saying different planets. I'm saying you can live in South Africa, but there's different South Africas for different people.
True.
100%.
Grand example, Santon and Alex.
Exactly.
Dude, it's 2 different worlds. It feels right next to each other. You know, there's an equivalent in India. I was talking about it with someone on Discord, where there's like a really expensive and grand city somewhere in India, and then like very nearby it is slums and stuff. So I hate it when cities do that. I just hate that it's so clear cut, you know?
It's like Maboneng, it's so weird. The one street has like, it's really pretty, and there's so many markets and stalls and things. I kid you not, you just cross the road and it's like CBD vibes, you clutching your purse. It's a totally different experience.
How did we get here? Standard and being content with not having a passion.
But you were saying that on the flip side, passions do what for people?
Again, I was saying that I don't have a fully formed like rebuttal to that. Not that it's a debate.
Needed rebuttal,
but I do think that passions do
something.
Do
for some
something.
people.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Why set a
It's
standard for
like,
the human race?
But also, it's not even a standard for the human race, because I feel like there are way more people who have that view than we actually think. Just because we are in sort of a quote-unquote Western capitalized, we are in a capitalist society, it just makes sense. But I'm sure there are places where just how every experience is different, where you don't really need to like, you can afford to not have a passion. It's like the same thing with us, right? Having a degree increases your job opportunities, right? And then like your fight is to go to university. But there's places like, for example, I don't know, the UK and Australia. You don't need a degree. You can have the same quality of life as somebody with a degree in South Africa being a plumber or like an artisan, you know what I mean? So, but
bricklayers
like,
as well.
A bricklayer who's having, like with... this is a weird, but like with an iPhone or something, and you have like a fully furnished house and you're living okay. But here, if you're a bricklayer, you're not earning a lot at all. So,
it's very different according to countries.
But the way we live, goals are so important. And there really could be somebody with the argument who just sees that as totally wrong. Like, you can't live without something driving you, or at least a goal. There's a lot of people who... motivational speakers here, you know, like that are saying like you need to have goals and you need to have a passion.
I don't like it when I understand their point though, I really do, but I don't like it if someone who's saying that doesn't look at the other side of the coin, like you mentioned, in different countries, because countries work differently, money works differently, and so socially also, is it socially acceptable in your country / in your area / in your community to not have goals? You know, it's different for everyone.
But do people need to know that I have goals or not.
Dude,
Why?
exactly.
Why
Like,
is it
yeah,
your issue?
What's your vision? And there's people who'll be so offended if you're like, no, I'm just figuring out. What is figuring out?
Well,
What's
now-
your next move?
Right now, people are busy asking me those questions, and
Yeah.
I'm just like, leave me alone.
Yeah.
saw
And
this-
sometimes you don't feel like sharing. Like you may have a plan, but you're just like uncomfortable sharing
Also,
it.
moving in silence, guys. Wow, underrated. Just do your stuff and tell people either once you. First of all, you can tell people that you're comfortable telling. Secondly, you may only feel comfortable telling them once you are nearer to that goal or
Don't
once you
need
have.
to tell them.
Yeah, or you
It's
don't
none
want
of
to
their
tell-
business.
Oh my word, I saw this TikTok that was like, don't worry about these Matrix results right now, where now your results are waiting for you at the clinic whether or not you have an STD. And I was like,
Gang. Your results are that side. Mine. They're here. You don't need to stress about
Yeah.
mine this
And I'm so
side.
sad they ended up posting them because
I think we should stop.
yeah, because a lot
they
of the
still
time
do the anonymous thing, right? Where you only know your what
I
number.
think they removed the names.
The names used to be there.
Yes, your full name used to be there in my matric. People knew my results before me.
No,
Wait.
that's so ghetto.
But I feel like the whole thing should just die.
My thing
Then
is,
somebody's like, it's
why?
public knowledge.
Why?
Yeah.
From grade 1 to 11, it hasn't been
been
public
public
knowledge.
knowledge.
Now in matric, it is. Maybe for like, your doctoring results, pass rates, but schools do
by
that
doctoring
anyway.
you mean like changing?
Yes,
Yes,
but
schools do that anyway. The country does it anyway. Only the people who need to know will know the real things.
So, for context, in South Africa, and I'm wondering if they do this in other countries, because the more I think about it, it is pretty cracked that our country does this. I don't know if others do this.
Yeah.
But in South Africa, your matric results will be on the newspaper.
Like they
Right.
literally print them
We'll
out.
print them out.
Yeah.
Is there any other way to figure out whether or not you've passed?
You get an SMS.
Oh,
You go
okay.
to school to fetch a report.
Reports.
So-
The same way you get your normal results from grade 1 to grade 7. To grade 11.
I think that's very weird and also adding a lot of pressure, especially if you didn't get what you wanted. It's nice to lick your wounds in private.
I like to talk also.
Dude.
Shanices.
Just yappa, yappa.
But again, it has to do with our country, right? The reason it's such a big deal to get an university entrance is because it does statistically propel you. Even though it's still bad amongst graduates, so it's not even like a quick fix, but it's
Better.
better, yeah. So, but other countries, bruh, doesn't matter how you pass. You can do a master's without an honors. You can
What?
yes.
You can do a master's without an
It's not
honors.
a grade
Yes.
system.
No, like you can do a bridging thing. If you got like low marks, you can do a bridging thing and then enter university and do some degrees. To be a doctor, you don't need maths here. Like, it works very differently in different countries. So we're here thinking this is Bible.
Yeah.
And like other
Gantiawa.
countries have less, it's not as
Requirements,
rigid.
yeah. That's crazy.
I believe the children are the future.
Teach them well.
I believe that it is time for Tato's tidbits.
Time for us to get some more information. It may be random.
I know.
But you need to know it. No, you don't.
Thank you. It's time for the tidbits, bro.
That was
Let's
such a
get
horrible song thing that we
was.
did.
No, I think it was hilarious.
Quite terrible.
Yes, but just because it's funny,
Funny
it
doesn't
also
mean it's good.
that it's bad.
It's so bad that it's good.
No.
You guys are the pessimists. Really, I believe in our
That was some
horrendousness.
horrible singing. We couldn't even get the Hey, anyway, Tato,
Either way, it's
take us home.
Bless us with your tidbits.
So remember how I was hopping on the second and how it's useless, right? Useless.
Except for the athletes.
Why? Yeah, obviously the
And except for
athletes.
also when you're making sugar
And
treats.
literally everything
And
runs on
School
time.
of Chocolate.
Exactly. School of chocolate, guys. Chocolate tempering. I'm sorry.
No,
but
what?
chocolate tempering, seconds matter.
Okay.
Sugar. Working with sugar, seconds matter. But it's mainly temperature, I'm not going to lie.
But you're not
so how
timing yourself.
Assignments when it's 11:58 and you are chasing 59 seconds matter.
And literally everything else, because a second is basically the foundation of time. Which is interesting because they didn't get to the second before. Like, they got to hours and and then they decided what the second was
That
to be
makes
more
sense.
precise.
That makes very much sense. I believe
Because
that.
things needed to run. I mean,
But I believe that as if it doesn't exist. I don't know, like as if it's up for debate.
so how do you get a second? Like, when you say
Blinking.
1, that's a second.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
How do they measure that?
They should have given us a 2 for like verbs.
A 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3, and rat-a-tat-a-tat-a-tat-a-tat-a. Chateau. Anyway.
Oui, oui, mon ami.
Je m'appelle Lafayette. Sorry about that. The fact that the year is this close. In 1967 is when scientists decided, yo, let's measure a second.
What?
Now is when they were like, what is a second? In 1967.
I'm sorry. So if seconds were only developed in 1967,
The
we
universe.
know that there were athletes before.
Yeah.
What were they counting?
Doesn't
How?
look like I know.
Dude, that's such a
half
good
like,
point.
my mind is a little bit.
Okay, so I blinked
Exactly.
4 times, and he was
I-
from the other.
No.
He ran the 1 meter in my 4 blinks.
Let me tell you, but the fact that people were surviving without seconds, the spirit was leading them. Anyway, continue, my sister.
Anyway, in 1967,
What?
a few years before our parents were born,
That's
Dude.
so crazy. Like people who were born with the second are here alive doing well.
Dude, you know how we have born frees who were
The
born
year
after
of the
apartheid?
second.
There's
Born
born
seconds.
seconds who were born after seconds were created.
And also how
So-
they got the name seconds.
it's because it's a second of an hour.
Okay.
Like, it's a mathematical term.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, all these scientists were like, yo, let's come up with a second.
Yeah.
Right? Where do you start to measure a second?
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, now you think it's the tick of a clock or a swing of a pendulum, but all of those are based on something.
Yeah.
They said, okay, let's go for an atomic clock, which had already been in development since 1955, so 12 years before they officially tried to make a second. At that conference, they were like, okay, cool.
It was a conference even.
Yo, nana,
Yes,
fela.
it was the
All
13th what of weight and measurement.
Okay.
What?
So, obviously for an atomic clock, you need an atom,
Or
right?
obviously.
Wena, as if
okay.
we're scientists.
Now, out of the many atoms that we have, around 118, which one are they going to use? In the process of using an atomic clock, they vaporize the atom and it does a lot of science stuff.
Yeah.
Nah. So they need to find an atom that's easy to vaporize. Its electrons have to be few and easy to identify,
Oh,
right?
okay.
They were going on. They landed on cesium-133,
Okay.
right?
Make a second.
Yes, to make a second. So they did that. That's how they formed the second. Now, a second is the cesium-133 ticking in the atomic clock like 9 billion something times. It's a lot of ticks to get a second.
Thank you, Cesium. Shout out to
I mean,
you,
I
baby.
still don't really know what happened, but I know more than I did before you started this.
The only thing I remember is Cesium.
They use
133.
They use cesium-133 as the base of how to make a second,
Amen.
using the
9
atomic
billion
Yeah.
of a cesium-133
Tick.
makes
a second.
second.
in
Amen.
an atomic
Clock.
clock.
Anyway, on that note, I feel like it's time to wrap up.
Wrap it up.
Wrap it up. I hope you enjoyed this
I
episode.
genuinely hope you enjoyed. I enjoyed it thoroughly. It's one of our more philosophical episodes, if
Is
you
it?
will. I feel like we got a bit deep into goals and depression, you know. And on that note,
On that note, just like back in the day, in 1967, when they decided, guys, let us make a second. I was Tebogo Tatolanga.
just as currently, Madam Rihanna from where is she from again?
Barbados.
Barbados.
Robin.
She is currently pregnant with a little Rocky Rihanna.
Oh.
Rocky Rihanna. Do you get?
Yeah,
Yes.
Rocky Rihanna.
She's pregnant. with-
rocked.
She was rocked by Rocky.
And it happened quickly.
Yeah, no. ASAP rocked her ASAP. I am currently Buntlelanga.
Just as the people from the Norwegian island of Sommery will
Sommer
no
Itzroy.
longer have time I will be Neweezy from the Heezy Langizi.
Oh my god.
From the
I already know
Heezy.
Weezy from the Heezy, and she's currently flipping
Hey,
non-existent
she whips
hair.
her hair back and forth.
She whips her scalp back and forth.
Oh, really?
That's so rude because I have hair on my head. Okay,
But it's
my ends are
plaited
moving.
down.
Okay, come on. What you know about that? What you know
What you
about
know
me?
about
What you know about
rolling
me?
Thank you
down
for
in the deep
listening. Oh,
Bye.
it got extremely chaotic near the end when we started.
Yeah, we are tired.
Bye-bye.
Okay, I love you. Have a good
bye.
day. Bonsoir. A bientôt.
Adios.
Goodbye.
Me.